Yes, sir. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Tony Laana. Today I would like to speak to you about the human vehicle. The body comprises of the body, the mind, and the spirit. The spirit's like electric, and the body is a vehicle, and it works on just like an automobile. It has an intake, it has an exhaust, it has a pump, it has like a fuel pump, and it runs through all the fuel lines in your body, and the veins take that part. If you put in the proper fuel, it runs very efficiently. If you don't put in the proper fuel, it runs, but it runs like crap. Uh, your car might run with kerosene, but it doesn't run right. But if you put in gasoline or a high test, it runs and purrs. Now the body is very much the same way. The only way that you can work that and you understand that is that when the body is balanced, it runs very efficiently. And also you have a brain and a mind. And the brain is like a computer, garbage in, garbage out. The mind is something else. The mind is like a universal mind. It comes from outside of ourselves. Now, there's really two parts of the mind. There's the part that is the creative part, and that works in the alpha state, and that part is the imagination. The other part is the brain where they call it the lizard brain, which is the old brain that runs 95% of the body. So technically, you're only running with 5% of the brain. Now, with that 5%, you are creating pretty much anything that you believe in. If you want to be a speaker, or you want to be a movie star, anything that you can think of, Madonna, anybody, they all use this because once they believe that they can, they can. And the thing is that when you believe you can't, you can't. So we are the creators of our own environment. We're making a movie of our life all the time, and we don't even realize it. And the thing is that we feel that we're victims because many times, you know, they tell you to have positive thoughts and positive thinking, and that works only to a certain extent because you have two. Let's put it this way: Bruce Lipton, he's a biologist. He says that you have two parts of the brain, two parts of the mind. Now the mind has a little computer that you use all the time for everything on a daily basis in the now. And the big computer is the storehouse, like a tape recorder, that gives you back all the things that you've experienced in your life. But if you have negative thoughts and negative things in the big computer, which is like a million times more than the little computer, you got everything stored in there from everything that ever happened, any place. The trouble is that when you are a child, up until 6 years old, you're taking in all this information because you're using both sides of your brain, and you're in this alpha state, and you're taking a lot of things that just don't, from teachers and parents and everything. It just wasn't the right information. Not that they didn't love you, and not that they didn't care, but they taught you a lot of things, fearful things. And these fearful things are what's holding you back. So even though you dream you want to be a movie star, there's a part of you that says, how could you be a movie star? That part, that second part, that big computer, because when you were a kid, you said, oh, they told me don't jump too high, and I'm not worthy, and I'm not this, and I'm not smart enough. And so all these negatives, even though you today are saying, oh, I can do it, I can do it, there's a part of you that said, oh, no, you can't, you can't. You see, and that's programs that you put in there when you were a child up until 6 years old. So we're at the mercy of that. Now today they're learning that if you if you want to control yourself, you have to be in a state where you don't react to things. What happens is basically you think that you're hurt. It could be an imagined hurt. It doesn't have to be real. The mind works on imagination. So if you think or your perception says to you that you have a problem, then you have a problem. And the thing is that when you think that you can get something done, if you don't have in your main computer that you can do this, it'll always shoot you down. It'll put in some negatives there. You'll be saying, "Oh yeah, I can," and in the background, the subconscious mind says, "No, you can't. No, you can't, because you've got to be careful, because it has fear in there. It's afraid, and it's afraid because you taught it to be afraid, like a self-defense motive." So the thing you have to do basically is start to understand that the body, the mind, and the spirit they're like at war with each other because they all have different opinions. So what I'm here for is I want to start an amnesty, where the body, mind, and spirit come together, and in this way they work in harmony. So we can put out a questionnaire to people. If you care to, you can just write in or email us, and we can get back to you with that on how to change these different, especially the main computer, so that you will think something that you want with positive thinking, and you have a positive program in your main computer that says, yeah, we can, yes, we can. I want to give an example. I was married to a African-American woman, and she was taught as a child that she's a little black American girl, a black girl, and you know, you have to be careful and watch out, and don't go out there and be too big, because you know, everybody's going to think, you know, who you are, whatever. So the parents and the people of the times put all these insecurities into her, and this is the way she grew up. Now, as she grew up, she started to see that there is a spiritual side of us, and she started working all the time, praying and projecting for all these good things to happen to her, but they never came. And the reason, basically, that they never came is that she herself didn't believe that she was worthy. Now who's she that didn't believe? Was the programming that she put in as a child. And so every time she wanted to do something, and she'd be praying and begging God, and what it does is basically you're saying that you don't have it. That's why when you pray like that, and you're looking for things that you don't have, no, you have to acknowledge that we are that. We are everything. We just don't believe it. So if you change your perception of yourself, then you can change so everything comes to you. Now, to give you an example again, that I myself grew up, and when I was a kid, I had a father that told me I could do anything. And because I had that kind of attitude, and because just like two little puppies, you know, one puppy gets to a point where, you know, it's very afraid of everything. You follow me? You put it in a cage with other puppies, and it rolls over and it gives up. And you take another puppy and you put it in the same cage, and it wants to own that cage. So these things come from your personality starting out. You come in with these kind of things, and then they either get taught and enforced and stronger, where, like with me, I pretty much get everything I want only because I was doing all these things before I even knew what I was doing, but I persevered. I had self-confidence. I believed that I could. I believed that if anybody could, then I could too, see? And with that attitude, even though I've had the same experiences, I just don't look at things from the same point of view. So when I go back into my main computer as Tony Laana, and when I was a kid, they used to call me Jimmy Laana, and Jimmy Laana was a spoiled brat type of kid, where he would get anything he wanted by being devious or mischievous or whatever, but he wasn't giving up. He was going to get it, whatever you wanted, one way or the other. And every time I, as Tony Laana, want to do something, well, I have an ally because that big computer has already been programmed that I can do anything. And so when I try to do something as Tony Laana, Jimmy Laana is in the background saying, yeah, you can, yes, you can. Whereas the other little girl says, yeah, I want to do something, and the little girl says, no, you can't, no, you can't. So it's that kind of thing that you have to train yourself and learn and look into yourself and see what you were like as a child and see how you feel with anxieties and fears. And most of the anxieties you have basically is a chemistry, because we are chemical, a big chemical mishmash of everything. And so if you depression, anxiety, and all that, it could be you just have too much sugar and you're not balanced. And so it's very interesting stuff. But you got to put it all together, because just to say it in one little give me thing, I'm going to be putting together some little manuals that give you an insight on how to control your body, how to control your mind, how to make love to yourself in the nicest way, because you got to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself and you don't feel that you can, and you don't have confidence that you can do anything, well, then you can't do nothing. You follow me? You have to have the confidence, and you have to have the perseverance, and you have to have the belief and understanding that you can, then you can. Boom, that's enough.